One other candidate we have here tonight, thank Congressman Conor for showing up, and if you want to address the crowd, come on up.
Sure. How you guys doing? Good. How did our candidates do for the State House? Okay? Great. Yeah? Good. Really appreciate all the hard work everybody is doing already and about to do. I keep thinking 2020 is kind of like the playoffs in sports. Like, you know, it's going to be hard and nerve-wracking, a lot on the line, but that's sort of what we play the game for. So we got a long year together ahead. I know it's petition time now, and really appreciate those of you who are going to go out and get those signatures for all of us. I know it'll be cold, kind of a pain. I'll be out there myself doing it. It's so important. I got the chance to go to New Hampshire and Iowa recently, and between that and thinking about petitions, I just think it's kind of a cool thing that even in this day and age, it all starts with something as basic as people putting their name down on a piece of paper. And I support, you know, this experiment that we're all having. So I think that's great. You know, as far as 2020 goes, I was thinking a lot in the last couple of weeks. You know, when the impeachment trial started, I guess 2 weeks ago now, one of the big things they were talking about in the media was, oh my God, once the trial starts, the Senate is not going to be able to do any more work. You know, they're not going to be able to take any votes, and they're not going to be able to pass any bills. And I was hearing that, and I was going, what do you guys think they do every other day of the year? You know, I mean, how is that different from anything else that we've seen in the last 2 years, right? Like, the institution has just become a confirmation machine, basically, for Trump's judges. While over on the House side, we've racked up, you know, over 300 bills, almost all of them bipartisan, actually. We get a lot of Republican votes on things, and they just go nowhere over there. And, you know, so I think what you see a lot of times are efforts by the administration and Senator McConnell to distract from that. I mean, that's the truth. The truth is that one side of Congress is doing work on behalf of the American people, addressing things like union pensions and voting rights and civil rights and health care, you know, all these things that we really care about, the minimum wage. And it leaves our chamber and kind of flies off into the ether. And you know, they'll blame impeachment for that not getting done. They'll blame us. They'll blame anything they can possibly blame to try to distract from that basic fact that we're doing our work and they aren't. But where I kind of keep coming back to as far as hope for 2020 is that, you know, the problems in the lives of the people that we all represent, because just by being active and being on the committee, you are representing your friends and neighbors too. Some of the problems that they are dealing with on a day-to-day basis are so serious and so persistent that they really can't, they don't have the luxury of being distracted from them. They can't be distracted from them. You know, I think one really important example is prescription drug prices. That is probably the #1 issue I hear about just as a representative in this region when people bring up something specific. And I bet if I asked for a show of hands in here, if you guys had a friend or family member that takes insulin, I bet almost anyone raised their hand. Everybody knows somebody that's taking insulin. And if you just ask the question, if you picture that person in your mind and ask, is it fair that they could be paying 10 times more than people in Canada pay for that same drug? You know, of course not. Especially when you learn that that drug was invented 100 years ago, hasn't been changed since. The person who invented it didn't even want to charge money for it. And so eventually Eli Lilly gets the patent in the United States. And you know how much they paid in federal income taxes last year, Eli Lilly? Big fat zero. They're charging ordinary people $300 for a dose here, paying nothing back in taxes. And I just have to say, I've campaigned in a lot of different parts of Western Pennsylvania for the last 2 years. Every type of town, every type of voter. You know, I've been chased by people's dogs and slipped in their driveway and had people confront me at town halls. And I don't think I've met a single person that thinks that problem that people have right now, that they're still having, is okay. And that it's okay that we haven't done anything about it. Except that the truth is, you as Democrats have done something about it and are doing something about it. Because in 2018, you collectively in Pennsylvania sent 5 new members of Congress, all Democrats, down to Washington, D.C. And we sent back our most experienced members to sit on the most powerful committees in the House of Representatives. And what did you get? You didn't just get talk. You got action. On December 12th of 2019, it got sort of lost in the media shuffle because of impeachment and all that stuff, but on December 12th in 2019, we put up the votes and passed the first ever bill that would allow Medicare to bargain over the price of prescription drugs, including insulin. And talk to any expert. It is the only thing that we can do to get those prices down. The other side will tell you, oh, just make it easier for generics, speed generics to the market, with foreign pricing, importation from Canada. It doesn't work on the required level. Medicare buys a third of all drugs in the United States, a third. Let them use that power for good. That's no longer just an idea, it's no longer a talking point. It is a bill that has been passed in the House of Representatives and sits over in the Senate awaiting a vote. It is one step closer to reality than we were before the 2018 elections. And you all were part of that. And so remember that person in your mind who is taking insulin and paying too much for it. And think about the fact that in 2020, if we do our work and things go right, they really do have a shot to pay less. And the taxpayer, including all of you, has a shot to pay less. Because if Medicare is buying a third of all the drugs in the United States, if you bargain those prices down, the US taxpayer is going to pay less overall for all those drugs. And our bill addresses that as well. You know what it does? It takes some of those leftover funds, hundreds of billions of dollars, and strengthens the Medicare program itself by adding a hearing, vision, and dental benefits to Medicare. And to be real specific, hearing aids, glasses, and dentures. Okay, so, let the Republicans cry socialism in 2020. We've got hearing aids. We've got dentures, right? I mean, I'll take that any day of the week. Usually it's they who are arguing, hey, we're going to let you keep more of your own money. They do it through tax cuts, but really what they're doing is swiping the nation's credit card. We are giving people something they need, something they've paid for years if you're a Medicaid beneficiary, and we're taking the money from the drug companies, and we're lowering people's costs. That's a problem in real people's lives. It's not just a majority Democratic position, it's a majority American one, and we've done it. We went to office saying we were going to work on these problems, and we've done it. And we've done it at the state level. Governor Wolf has done it. We've done it across the board. So let's none of us be distracted from that. No matter what happens in Washington, D.C., no matter what the president says, and he'll be coming here to Western Pennsylvania to say it. Every single day between now and November, what day is election day? Anybody know? November 3rd? Is that right? 3rd? All right. She can't wait. Yeah. Every day between now and then, we should be talking about our accomplishments, the issues themselves, not the personalities, not the drama, certainly not impeachment. I had a 150-person town hall last weekend, probably 25 questions, a very organized pro-Trump contingency. We still didn't get a question on impeachment. It's not hitting with the average person, So that's fine, because on the issues, we're there. Okay. Have a good night.